ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
The first storm of the fall season is on its way out of our county tonight, but it left behind damage, flooding, and even rescues. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. Our ABC 10 News reporter Laura Azevedo shows us how the storm impacted different parts of our county.
Although much of the storm has passed, if you take a look behind me here, this is just one of the scenes that crews have had to work with tonight after a tree came down on top of a house, bringing power lines down with it.
On a week that started with a heat advisory, it ended with an early fall storm that swept through the entire county. Heavy downpours and even hail in some parts of the county. On the westbound 94, debris on the road led to flooding that shut the freeway down at Via Mercado. At least 2 cars stalled and had to be towed away. Over in La Mesa on Panorama Drive, a large tree toppling over, blocking the entire street, landing on a home. Electricity to the neighborhood knocked out as the tree brought down power lines with it. SDG&E crews working to restore power for hours. And in Del Cerro, a water rescue at the San Diego River. The San Diego Fire and Rescue Department able to safely get 2 people out after they were swept away and ended up on a small island surrounded by rushing water.
Very dangerous situation. They're extremely lucky that they were uninjured.
Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.
ABC 10 News meteorologist Leah Pizzetti is tracking the totals for the day. Pretty impressive, Leah.
Oh, yeah, Kimberly. We actually did break records in San Diego for the airport for how much rain we saw that fell today compared to every other date, every other September 24th it is today in history. So I want to show our satellite and radar right now. We do see a little bit of light rain moved through the valley in the last couple hours, but not anything significant, not anything compared to what we saw earlier today. That was just a massive thunderstorm that moved through the region, bringing significant rain totals. Look at this. Mesa Grande, 1.5 inches. La Mesa, more than half an inch. Point Loma, more than half an inch. San Diego, like I said, did hit that half an inch mark, setting that previous record. It was 48 hundredths set on this day. So record-breaking rain for San Diego today. Vista got just shy of 1/10 of an inch. Ramona, 4/100ths of an inch. So incredible, impressive rain totals for today. We're not quite done yet. We do still have slight chances for monsoon thunderstorms continuing into tomorrow. Coming up, I'm breaking that down for you.
We'll see you then. Thank you, Leah.
And you can stay on top of any new developments with the weather by downloading the 10 News app. A free version is available in the App Store.
And we have breaking news now to bring you. 2 people have been hurt in an apartment fire in El Cajon. Heartland Fire says they got the call about 9:30 on North Mollison Avenue, just east of I-8 and the 67 interchange. 1 unit was engulfed when crews arrived. 2 residents with minor burns were taken to UCSD's Burns Center. No word yet on a cause.
Tonight, a detailed explanation of those booster shots, understanding who is eligible and how they can get their COVID booster. That can be hard to follow. But our ABC 10 News reporter Ryan Hill spoke with the chief medical officer at UC San Diego to find out where we stand and why not everyone can get that booster at this time.
Booster shots of the COVID-19 vaccine. It's a hot topic of conversation for a shot that's stored in the cold.
I think it is very confusing, and I don't blame people for being confused when they hear this constantly evolving news.
So ABC 10 went to an expert to better explain booster shots and who can get them. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention landed on a couple of clearer ground rules about these booster shots on Thursday. First, it's those 65 and older and those in long-term care settings. Second, those 50 to 64 years old with underlying health conditions.
Now, the CDC also said that there are groups that may receive a booster shot, and that includes people who are aged 18 to 49 with underlying medical conditions, or people aged 18 to 64 who are at increased risk because of where they work, and that includes healthcare workers.
Pfizer is the only vaccine right now with the green light for booster shots from the CDC. But there are some people who are getting an extra shot of Moderna or Johnson & Johnson.
People who got Moderna or Johnson & Johnson are only being asked to get a second or third shot if they're immunosuppressed or transplant patients at this time.
The chief medical officer for UC San Diego says there's a difference between a booster shot and those getting a second or third jab in the arm.
So a third dose is really to help you achieve that initial immunity that we found that immunosuppressed patients aren't getting after 2 doses. Whereas for the rest of us who did achieve immunity after 2 shots and it's been waning, this is what we call a booster shot.
With all of this new guidance from the CDC coming out, there's data from the San Diego Immunization Registry showing as of last Thursday, there were already more than 43,000 additional Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson doses in the county. The county says it's been administered by CVS, Rite Aid, UCSD, and other outlets. UCSD CMO tells me the 3,000 doses they gave met CDC criteria and reached out to high-risk patients to get them those doses.
There was nothing suspicious or cheating going on. We do know that there's some people going to pharmacies and self-attesting that they deserve a third shot or they might be immunosuppressed. And it's very difficult for the pharmacies to police.
Booster shots, a new part of the ever-changing pandemic.
So it's a crazy time, but if you're eligible, reach out to your doctor, your health system. We'd love to give you a booster.
Ryan Hill, ABC 10 News.
Longhurst says that it could be a couple of weeks on the recommendations for that Moderna booster shot.
The county is increasing its COVID testing capabilities in southeast San Diego with the closing of the Tubman Chavez Community Center. The county says several local churches are stepping up to provide testing starting Sunday. The Bayview Baptist Church will hold testing on Sundays and Mondays from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. You can go to the Encanto Southern Baptist Church Monday through Fridays from 10:30 to 5:30, and the City of Hope International Church from Tuesday to Saturdays between 10 and 5:30. No appointments are needed at all sites.
Our daily coronavirus cases, they are back above 1,000 once again here in the county. The county reported just under 1,100 new cases today, although it was from 27,000 tests, which is well above our daily average of tests. Our death toll also went up by 7.
A problem from the earlier days of the pandemic is back for Costco members. Costco says that now it's limiting purchases of toilet paper, paper towels, and cleaning supplies once again. But the Delta variant isn't the only reason demand is higher. Costco says it's having trouble finding truck drivers and shipping containers to get the items to the stores. The company says the problems are also making some items more expensive.
Tonight, we have updated numbers in the California governor's recall election. 92% of the vote has now been counted. And yes, on the recall does continue to make up a tiny bit of ground, but no is still way ahead, 63 to 37%. The race was called in Governor Gavin Newsom's favor less than an hour after the polls closed September the 14th.
Several of the state's top Republican Party leaders are in town for the weekend for their annual convention. The series of meetings comes just a few weeks after a failed attempt to recall Governor Gavin Newsom, but they pointed to successes in the last election, despite the fact that Democrats outnumber Republicans 2-1 in registrations.
I think the best way to be successful is make sure you are running the right candidates who are connecting with their districts, who are speaking to the issues that matter in their districts. That's how we were successful in 2020. That's how we're going to be successful in 2022.
Next up for the state GOP is trying to win back more congressional seats during the 2022 election.
San Diego's new ban on ghost guns is already facing a lawsuit. That suit filed by gun supporters claims the law violates the Second Amendment. The law, which Mayor Todd Gloria signed just yesterday, bans those homemade guns which have no serial number and they can't be traced. It does not apply to guns that are antique, made before 1968, or no longer work. The lawsuit seeks to block enforcement of the ban, which goes into effect here in about a month.
Everyone needs to evacuate now. This is a mandatory evacuation order.
Thousands are under evacuation orders in Shasta County as an arson arrest is made in the Fawn Fire. Authorities questioned a 30-year-old woman after quarry employees reported her for trespassing on Wednesday. The quarry was near the starting point of the fire. After questioning, the woman was placed under arrest. The Fawn Fire has grown to nearly 7,000 acres, only 10% contained. 25 structures have burned, including homes.
PG&E has been charged with manslaughter and other crimes after its equipment sparked a Northern California wildfire that killed 4 people and destroyed hundreds of homes last year. The Zog fire began last September. It raged through rugged terrain in small communities just west of Redding, also in Shasta County. In March, fire investigators concluded that blaze was sparked by a tree that fell onto a PG&E transmission line. The company is accused of failing to remove the tree even though it had been marked for removal 2 years earlier. PG&E CEO says the deaths are a tragedy, but failing to prevent a fire is not a crime.